Welcome back. Let's continue with our brute forcing of the VWA page. So we successfully brute forced the welcome login screen, but now we also got this brute force page right here that also requires username and password. Now this is pretty much the same thing, just this is a different page, so the syntax of the Hydra command will be different. Of course, if I were to type admin and password right here, it would still work. It would tell me welcome to the password protected area admin. But if I were to type something like test and then test, it would not work this time. So we must craft a specific command just for this page. If we were to use the command that we used from the previous video, which is this one, it would not work because it is not the same page, it is not the same type of HTTP form post, and it is also not the same type of fields. So let's clear the screen right here and let's start crafting our command. We're going to start with the same, which is Hydra and then the IP address of our target machine. Remember that in the previous video we used HTTP form post because our usernames and passwords were sent with post request. This time, if we take a look at the link right here, we can see that the usernames and passwords are being sent inside of the link. And this is a good indication that this is a GET request. Of course, you can also check that by visiting the page source, finding the form where you submit usernames and passwords, and here it is. And under the form, we can see that the method is GET. So this time, we cannot use HTTP form post, we must use HTTP GET form. So this is the syntax once we're sending the GET request. The next step is, remember, we open the double quotes, and in between the double quotes, the first argument is specifying the path to the page. So we must go right here, let us close this, and let's just refresh this page, just so we can get the path to it. So I'm just going to go right here, and we get the path to the page, which is going to be /dvwa/vulnerabilities/brute and / at the end. Copy this and specify it as the first argument right here. And remember, once we do that, we separate the second argument by typing 2 dots. And now comes the part where we specify the username, password, and button field. So let's go to the page, view page source once again, and let's find the name of the username field first. Here is the form. The first part is the username field, and its name is just username. So let's go to our command and type username equals upper arrow, user upper arrow. We separate the username from password with this sign. Let's go and check out what's the password name. It is just password, and let's do the same as in the previous video. Pass, upper arrow, and the last part is the button, which we can even get from the link itself. So if I type hello as username and world as password, we can see right here in the link that the button login equals login. So we can just copy this, go to our command and paste it right here. And the last argument inside of the double quotes is, if you remember, we must specify what is the string that we get once we specify the incorrect username and password. And we can see it right here. It says username and or password incorrect. So let's just copy this and let's paste it right here. Great. Now, if we go outside and specify -l and then usernames.txt and -p for the passwords.txt, if I press enter, you will notice that it will not work. It will tell me that every username and every password is correct. Sometimes when this happens, you haven't specified enough arguments. Either you have a syntax error inside of your command, or you didn't specify something well, or you're missing additional arguments such as the cookie value. So sometimes we must specify the cookie value also in order for this to work. Let me show you what I mean. To specify the cookie value, we must go right here, and before closing the double quotes, we're going to add another argument. So separate 2 dots, and we can type h-cookie, 2 dots, and the cookie value right next to it. How do we get the cookie value? Well, we get it with the help of burp suite. So let's find the HTTP request where we send the hello and world as usernames and passwords, and let's see what cookie do we have right there. So let's go right here, let's try to find it. It is right here, /dvwa/vulnerabilities. Let's just find the correct request. And here it is. Here we can see inside of the link that we are sending hello as username and world as password. And the cookie that we have is this right here. So we want to copy all of it, including the security equals low and including the PHP session ID equals and then our cookie value. So copy that, go to the command, and right here you can paste the cookie value. So after the 2 dots, h-cookie, 2 dots, and then the cookie value right here. If I try it once again, well, now it works. Now it tells me that the username is admin and that the password is password. Just keep in mind that sometimes Hydra doesn't really make a difference between capital and lowercase letters, that's why we got 2 results right here. But it gave us the correct username and the correct password. So once you notice that the brute force doesn't work, try adding this cookie value and then it might actually work, because if you remember, once we didn't have it, it gave us that all of the usernames and all of the passwords are valid and that we can log in with all of that. So the difference, once again, between this and previous command is inside of this HTTP GET form, because we are sending with the GET request, then we have the different link, the username and password fields are the same, and the string that we get once specifying the incorrect password is also different. And here we also specify a cookie value, which we didn't have to specify in the previous video. Okay, great. Now that we covered the Hydra tool, in the next video I will show you a way how you can perform brute force much easier with the help of burp suit tool. See you there.